So, Brittany, I'd love just for you to share a little bit of your story and your testimony of, how you got to City Vision, what you kind of got out of City Vision, and where you hope to go in the future.
Sure. So I was introduced to City Vision through St. Matthew's House, and that story begins around 2005. Having lived with a family that I experienced some dysfunction, some physical abuse, some drug abuse in the home. I went to school with a very unstable identity, was not really grounded in any faith or any social group, kind of wasn't sure of myself. So when I went from a small private school for high school to a very large university in Orlando, Florida, I was sort of overwhelmed by all the options for social peers and just different avenues in life. Ended up with a group that was experimenting with different chemicals. From that, I ended up addicted to opiates and a few other substances, which led me to about 8 years in and out of jails. Lost my scholarship to the university, wasn't allowed in my parents' home anymore, didn't have any friends, didn't have any support network. And that's where I found myself in February of 2013. I was looking at 3 years of prison time. And for some reason, the judge, I think it's because he had a son he lost to alcohol abuse. The judge kind of showed mercy on me and released me to a program in Naples, Florida that was brand new. I was the second person in the program. The curriculum wasn't written. The policies weren't in place. And so it was kind of a scary, shaky time. But that's how I came to know the St. Matthew's House recovery program for women. Through that program, I was able to work on, many of the traditional things that you see in a recovery program. I came to rededicate my life to Christ. I came to know who I was as an individual, but I still very much struggled with kind of some self-doubt, especially because a lot of my worth, I placed a lot of value on education when I was younger, knowing that I had lost my scholarship, knowing that I wasn't able to keep my grades up at a traditional university. I was scared to go back to school. I didn't think I had it in me, or I thought even if I could complete a degree, I would always sort of be viewed as, somebody on the sidelines because of my past. So when I found out about City Vision, I thought it was really interesting, just the take that they took, because it's not only a school, but it's also a ministry. And that was really intriguing to me. And I thought, maybe this would be a good environment for me to kind of get my feet wet again in education and see if I do have it in me. I was hoping that it would be an encouraging environment, and it was. That was something that I really appreciated about it. There wasn't a lot of judgment, but I still received the guidance and correction I needed if I wasn't understanding something. So I found myself about 3 semesters away from a bachelor's. I was able to complete those classes. Through that time, I kind of shifted what my plan was. I went in wanting to be a mental health counselor for people struggling with addiction. But because of the exposure to so many different materials and texts and different perspectives brought by the teachers and students, I kind of moved my focus to public health administration. I really wanted to maybe affect some change on a greater scale that had to do with local government policies and different things that sort of govern the nonprofit world without really being involved in it. I kind of thought that disconnect wasn't really fair. We've got government officials telling us how we can do things, but they don't really know what we're doing or how to do it. And so that's where my focus went. And I found that my experience with City Vision, it increased my education and my knowledge, but it also increased my ability to interact with different people from different walks of life, from similar walks of life. And just kind of take in all of this input and put that into motivation to move forward. So whereas I was not planning on pursuing a master's degree before City Vision, I kind of gained the confidence to go ahead and move forward with that next year. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. Wow. That's an amazing story and amazing testimony. So I'm very encouraged by what God's done in your life. So
as am I.
yeah, thanks.